On this episode of The Chef's Cut, we share the one question chefs hate to get.
Such an insane question.
The surprising rating system in Japan.
Nobody gives a 5-star review because that's absolute perfection.
We share the physical perils of being a chef. That fryer oil melted my shirt to the back of my arm. And we rate your favorite Christmas foods. I can't get with eggnog. Let's get into it. Joe, we are back. And for everybody watching on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe for a full-length video of every episode of the podcast so you can see everything that's going on here.
Age. To get into it today, I was thinking about the other day, like we're chefs, we get questions all the time, right? People are curious about what we do. There's really good chef questions and there's really, really bad ones. And I am of the opinion there's a worse chef question out there. I think
I know
just the worst one. And it's probably the most common one as well. We get as chefs, we get as cooks in this industry. So what's your number one? I need your number one just off the cuff. Somebody meets you on a train, at a party, wherever, and you say, oh, I cook for a living. And their next question is,
what's your favorite thing to cook?
God.
Every time. Never fail. That or the only other one, what's your signature dish?
Oh, yeah. That one's tough. The signature dish one's tough. I feel like it's more like coming from a base place. It's like the favorite thing to cook to me. It's just one of those ones. And it's like, and it's, if it's
that's
like
the number one question.
It's like, you know, if it's somebody I know, when they ask me that question, like I have no problem like kind of shitting on them and being like, that's a stupid question. Like, you know what I mean? But it's tough when you get that one when you're like a public setting, right? If you're doing an event or if, you know, for me, if I'm at the restaurant, somebody's like, oh, what's your favorite thing to cook? You can't just, you don't want to be like dismissive. So I'll just be like, oh, pasta. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's such an insane question.
It is. I don't know why people ask that. It's like, what's your favorite memo to write? I don't know. What's your favorite kind of tree to plant? Like, what's your favorite airplane to fly? For chefs, that is the number one question that everybody asks us. And everybody I know says the same thing. Like, why are people asking us this all the time?
Right. We love to cook. And we don't have like, unless you're like hardcore old school Japanese where you're just like, I only cook soba. And you're like, obviously, so it's like, oh, okay. That is probably your favorite thing to cook. Or maybe it's not. And that's super weird. Then that would be interesting. If you run a soba shop for 70 years and you're like, I hate cooking.
And it's
soba,
not, right? And that's
like,
not your answer.
I would like to kind of hear this. But I mean, for the most part, it's just one of those questions where it's just like, it's bizarre to me. Yeah, like you said, like any other profession. You know, it's like going up to a firefighter and be like, what's your favorite kind of fire to fight? And they're like, what?
Right.
Like, why would you ask me that? It's
Exactly.
like, I have no idea. You're right. That's an insane question.
Exactly. So why do people think that it's a normal question to add? Like, I cook so many different, depends on the season. It depends on my mood. One day I might love to cook omelets. The next day I might love braising short ribs. Why is that a question that people ask? I like it when people ask me food specific questions like, hey, I've been making these mashed potatoes, but I can't get them quite right. Here's what I'm doing. Help me troubleshoot. That I can get with. But like the esoteric, arbitrary question of what's your favorite thing to cook, I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again.
What are you cooking for this? Or how do I good one, you know, like a guy asked me the other day, he was like, how do I get better I like cooking, but I'm not really good at it. And I'm like, all right, well, what part of cooking do you like? He's like, I really like grilling. I was like, all right, then that's what you should focus on. Figure out how to grill more things. You know what I mean? Focus your dinner around that. Anything that's not going to be grilled, buy something prepared so you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Buy a prepared salad, buy a prepared, you know, whatever, potato salad, or, you know, buy pre-cut things, whatever you want. So you don't have to do knife work if you don't want to do knife work, because it's like, if you don't want to get better at knife work, you're probably not going to get better at it.
Right.
It takes
That's
a lot
a
of time.
great tip. Like, buy those chopped onions. Why are you, you know, if you're crunched for time and you're doing a ton of things, don't chop the onions. Like, buy them.
Yeah, you don't have to be good at slicing onions. You're not buying primals or subprimals of beef at your house to be like, I got to get really good at butchering beef shoulders.
Right.
You know, so it's like, for me, it's one of those things, but it's like, that's a really good question, I thought. But it's the what's my favorite thing to cook? It's like, I feel like that's if this could be our public service announcement for all the chefs all over the world, I think we would be doing them a great justice if we could get people to stop, you know, asking them, what's your favorite thing to cook? Maybe ask them, what's the last thing you cooked?
This public service announcement is more for the people who are not chefs so that they can stop asking that question.
We're giving you a better question. They don't know what to ask.
Right.
Hey, listen, I'm not totally shitting on these people. They just don't know what to
What's
ask.
the last thing you cooked at home?
What's the last thing you cooked?
Yep.
You know, what ingredient are you most excited about right now in this season?
There you go.
What did you get from the farmer's market the last time you were there?
Right.
Great question.
Yeah.
You know, or like, if you see a chef at a farmer's market, what are you getting today?
Right. It's like, think of every different profession. Like if somebody tells me I'm a lawyer, what's the number one question somebody's probably going to ask them? Oh, where'd you go to law school?
Right.
What kind of law do you practice? Like, think about how you feel when people ask you the same question over and over when they find out your profession. And think about how we feel, because we get it so much more because of all the number of people you interact with in a restaurant, on the street, filming television. You know, people are just like walking up to you on the street like, what's your favorite thing to cook? And that's one of the perils of being a chef, I think, because we get asked that question so much.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of times we're in public. So we can't just say like, you got something else, like a little more thoughtful.
Right.
Like,
it's
show
not like
that you care.
It's not like
Show
you're at a press conference. So you'd be like, next
Right.
question. Right. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
If I could,
like,
just hilarious doing that to people. Like, you know, just like, you know,
nope, not answering that. Next.
Nope, next. Yep. You in the back. What do you got? You got a better question about cookbooks or knives that I'd like to answer?
Right, exactly. Yeah, dig a little deeper, do a little better. Well, Joe, it is the holiday season, and I think it's time to take it into fork it or forget it, because there are some things that are staples in this holiday season that I can't get with. I'm not a fan. I'm going to see if you can guess what I'm talking about. It is specific to the holiday season.
Okay.
It is creamy.
Okay.
It is usually spiked with alcohol. It's a beverage.
Oh, a beverage.
A beverage, if you will.
Okay. So we got a boozy, creamy beverage.
Yes. Boozy, creamy beverage made with eggs.
Is this we're talking eggnog now.
We are talking eggnog.
I thought maybe you were going the Tom and Jerry route first, getting real niche with it. But the nog. The great eggnog.
Oh.
I mean,
fork it or forget it. Eggnog.
Oh, I mean, look at me. Look at me. Do I look like a person who doesn't enjoy eggnog? Is there anything about this robust Midwest frame that says I don't enjoy a glass of eggnog? Like, what about this could possibly say that to you? I mean, what kind of Grinch are you that you can't enjoy the simple pleasure of a glass of eggnog?
Okay, no, I can't. I can't get with eggnog. I've never been a fan. I don't like it.
Not even when you were a kid? Not even when you were a kid? You weren't even...
Especially when I was a kid. This is a holdover from when I was a kid. It was gross to me. I was like, what, you want me to drink an egg? Like, what am I, Arnold Schwarzenegger on Muscle Beach in 1982? No.
This is, straight gains. Straight gains. You know? This is what's holding you back.
Apparently.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
When is the last time you have tried it?
It's one of those things that when I'm presented with eggnog, I have a visceral reaction.
Yeah, answer the question. Answer the question, Adrienne. Quit talking.
So the last time I tried it and I drank it.
Yes.
Oh God, I was probably like prepubescent.
This is what I'm saying.
I had to have been
this is what
11
I'm
or 12.
saying. Don't let your
and I threw up. I vomited.
Don't let your childhood
everywhere.
define you. Okay. You're not that girl anymore.
Our childhood is what makes us
seen
who
the
we
world.
are.
You've seen the world. Your mind has expanded.
And you know what I haven't seen when I travel the world? Eggnog.
Yeah, you have.
I haven't seen that around the world.
In different ways.
Nope.
Coquito?
Coquito does not have eggs. Coquito is no. I can't. I love coquito. I will buy a bottle from everybody making coquito every season, but nope on the eggnog.
Listen,
don't come at me with some raw eggs in a bottle and expect me to drink it.
I need you to try some eggnog this holiday season. The people need it. I need it. We need a video of you giving it a go.
I kind of want to gag just thinking about, and that's weird. Like, I will eat brains. I've eaten anything that like I travel somewhere, whatever the most I'll try it. I'll give anything a try.
Yeah.
But eggnog, I don't know what it is. I can't get over it. It's a complete forget it for me.
And like, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. It is viscous. It's got some thickness to it. It's got a viscosity to it that is no joke. It's not a chuggable beverage. You know what I mean? It's like a milkshake that's been in the car not long enough to totally melt.
Oh.
You know, but it's like still thick. It's still cold. It's still cold.
You are.
But it's no longer frozen. You know what I mean?
You're really making my case for me here, Joe.
I think you should give it another shot. I think you're closing the door on something that, you know, I'll just be sad to see you miss in your life. A little nog.
There are some joys in this
hanging
world
out with,
that I'm
hanging
okay
out
not
with,
knowing.
you know, the nephews and nieces for the holidays, and they're like, Auntie Age, have some eggnog, and you're like, no, I'm a Grinch.
My babies would never.
I'm a Grinch. You know, like
now my babies might offer me some coquito, but they would never ask me about it. They would never.
I think you need to do a little, just a shot glass, just a little ripper for the holidays. You know what I mean? I think it'll be good for you.
Joe, we're going to move on to review. But before we do, be sure to subscribe to The Chef's Cut on YouTube or Spotify for full-length videos of every episode of the podcast. So, Joe, you recently went to Japan, little pre-holiday trip you had, right?
Yes, in Japanese. Super good at Japanese. Yeah.
I learned, you're crushing it. Totally.
Thank you.
I learned something very interesting that I think people would love to hear about, because we talk about the review systems here and how they go here, but you learned a new review system. Let's hear about this.
I didn't know about this. And then when I brought it up to people since I got back, I've talked to a lot of people about it. I think it's wildly interesting. So when I was there, my cousin, Ben, he lives in Shanghai, but his wife is from Japan. She grew up half in the States, half in Tokyo. So they go to Tokyo all the time. So he was there, we were hanging out, and he kept like sending me restaurants. He was like, oh, you should go to this place, it's really good. But all these restaurants he was sending me, they're like 3.3, 3.5, 3.6 out of 5, right? And at one point, he finally texted me back, and he's like, hey, just so you know, in Japan, if it's over like a 3.5, he's like, it's a fantastic restaurant.
That is crazy.
He's like, 5 stars is unobtainable. It's unobtainable because like nobody gives a 5-star review because that's absolute perfection.
Wow.
So you look at these restaurants and they're all like 3.5, 3.6. I went to this yakitori place. First night I was there, it was called 𝗪𝗓 Yakitori right outside of Ginza. And unbelievable meal. Like, I mean, everything was super delicious, really cool. You go downstairs, it's in a basement. It's been there a really long time. It's exactly like what you would picture in your head, right? If I was like, let's go get yakitori in Tokyo, you know, our first night there, you know, it's cold beers, it's, you know, ripping hot skewers. And you're just like, this is
that
perfect.
Sounds awesome.
So I just want to read you an excerpt from this review from there. And it says, first up was the yakitori. The heart and the gizzard were served with salt. With each bite, the umami burst in my mouth. I quickly washed it down with some sake to enjoy the enhanced flavors and delightful aromas. Next came the chicken wings and sauce. The plump, tender texture, rich meat juices melted my brain, leading me to a state of happiness. I sipped oolong tea a couple times. This goes on like this. This is 4 paragraphs. All equally as just like, you know, this is a must try. This is a truly unique experience. Just the right amount of saltiness, like comforting home cooking flavor. Even
that
they
sounds
make
phenomenal.
Even they make a mention of like, oh, I can't believe I was able to get in at 6 p.m. They're usually so busy. It was so nice they squeezed me in. You know, they talk about how cool the place looks. What do you think the rating of this review?
I mean, to me, that sounds like a freaking 5-star review. That is glowing. And it's like listening to the words. It's so descriptive. I feel like I'm in the place when this person is describing it. It sounds to me like a 5-star review. I know you said that's not a thing, but that's an amazing review. It's got to be. There's at least 4.
There is not a bad word in here. Last line. It was delicious. It was a great meal. I'll be back for sure.
Oh my God. Okay. It's got to be at least 4 at the minimum, because you said 5 isn't really a thing.
3.5. 3.5.
No.
3.5 stars.
No. Are you kidding me? That is so, oh my gosh.
This is the best.
I feel like there's a disconnect.
This is the best review I've ever read. This is the best. If somebody wrote this review about one of my restaurants, I would go to their house and shake their hand. I would give them a hug.
Oh my God.
Bring them a glass of eggnog for the holidays. You know, like
I was going to say, send them a bottle of wine.
You're trying to kill somebody. I mean, this was like it was beautifully written. It was like long. I was like, I've never written a paper this good in my life, let alone a review. 3.5 stars. I can't wrap my head around it.
I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I can't wrap my mind around this disconnect between that review and that score. I feel like if it's that good, it should at least get a 4, right?
Yes. If it was that good, it's there was nothing wrong with it. So this got me down going a rabbit hole of Japanese reviews. And I went to, I don't know if I told you this, but I went to a coffee shop while I was there. And they take, like most things in Tokyo, they take coffee very seriously. And so I walked into this place and it was called the Cherry Lab because it's a coffee laboratory, which I didn't know they meant that like very seriously. And there's all these signs when you walk in that say like, please be quiet to not disturb the coffee making process in a coffee shop.
So you have to zip it when you walk in.
It's like, hey, if you want coffee, shut the fuck up and get in line. So I walk up to the counter. And, the first thing the guy tells me, he's like, just so you know, every espresso here is at least $20. And I was like, all right, well, yeah, I'm in. So I order a
I'm here.
$25 double espresso.
Oh, my goodness.
So they start making it. They're like damn near roasting the beans to order. And like he doesn't make it. He just stands aside and this woman comes out and she starts making it. It's a whole process and she grinds it down and she's got that little like thing where they're like, you know what I mean, aerating the ground beans like slowly.
Oh my gosh.
And I go to take a picture because I'm like, this is crazy. They old school 1990s celebrity paparazzi freak out style or like, no. I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm sorry. I like show him my phone and show him that I didn't take a picture.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, you can't even take pictures in there?
I'm so sorry. And so whatever, eventually 11 minutes later, I get a double shot of espresso. That's absolutely fucking delicious. By the way, it was awesome. It was totally awesome. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I mean, double espresso.
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 if you're following the system.
Yeah, if I'm following the table log Tokyo system, it would have been a 3.2. But it was awesome. But then I was like, I got to see the reviews of this place. And so I was reading the reviews, and the owner of this business, this woman, comments on every review, good or bad. The good reviews should be like, thank you for understanding what I'm trying to do here. Blah, blah, blah. Like long responses. Not like, oh, thanks for stopping by. Like paragraph and a half. Somebody said like, oh, it's like so cold, like so sterile in there. And she's like, yes, that's what a lab is. It's supposed to be cold and sterile. This is a laboratory. Like, this is not a coffee
you get it.
And I was like, man, they are really taking this shit literal. It was incredible.
I mean, I thought I took myself seriously. Good Lord.
Yeah, blew my mind, man. Blew my mind.
Whoa, that is intense. So one of my biggest regrets is my sister used to live in Japan. And one of my biggest regrets was I never went to visit her when she lived there. But I've always wanted to go. And when you were there recently, you posted to your stories, you tried that fruit and whipped cream sandwich that we talked about with Sam Cass, right?
Yeah.
How was it? I need details. Like I need
delicious.
Details.
It's milk bread. It's whipped cream that's not too sweet, but it's a little sweet. And then it was like mandarin oranges in it.
Ooh, so it's like a creamsicle?
Yeah, so it's good. It's really good. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself afterwards, but it's an awesome experience.
Okay, so next time I see that, I'm going to try one. Well, Joe, let's take it to line checks. For line check, I want to talk about how each chef has a literal, physical body of work, right? And I don't mean that in terms of like the menus we've written, the restaurants we've worked at. I'm talking about our bodies and the scars that we have collected over the years. Because what we do is dangerous, right? There's fire, there's knives, everything is hot, everything is sharp. you're under stress, things are heavy, boiling over, oil flowing out of the fryer. It's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
And, you know, death and liability insurance for chefs is like 20% higher than any other profession.
You know, we've all seen nasty kitchen incidents, and I think we've all had our own. And it's like what we would consider the minor ones.
Yeah.
You know, you just go, you're like, oh, whatever. You know, remember, like, you know, my wife asked me one time, like, we were dating. It was, I had burnt, like, I have the, you know, this tattoo on my arm that's got all the lettering. I had burnt the letters off that tattoo. I had, like, burnt my arm so bad, like a line through it, that some of the letters were gone.
Wow, you went deep on that one.
Yeah, I did. And they came back.
Okay.
Like, when you heal, that's a crazy thing. I didn't know that. That was, I think that was my first
I didn't know that tattoos would come back.
Yeah. So, you know, when the burn healed, the tattoo was fine.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. But I remember she asked me, she's like, what did you do when that happened? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, what did you do? I'm like nothing. She's like, did you like scream or like cry or like or anything? And I'm like, no, I just like had to like keep planing. Like we were in the middle of the rush. Right. I just kind of like just went on with my day completely.
Yeah.
She's like, what? That's not like the reaction that a person should have.
Yeah, it is.
And
I mean,
like, well,
when you're in the middle of service.
Right. It's like, that's an after service problem at best.
Does table 12 want their food? Then it is something that I need to address after service.
Right. That's an after service problem at best. And I think like now there's a lot more like safeguards, right? You know what I mean? Like now the deep fryers have things where you can hook them in. It'll just like all my deep fryers have a little nozzle and you pump the oil through a pipe and it just goes out in the alley into the oil bin. Instead of like walking out there in the ice and snow with a giant pot of oil being like little steps, little steps, little steps. You know what I mean? Like, or in the rain, that was the worst.
Yes.
Taking the fryer oil out in the rain.
In
it's
the
just
rain,
like,
you better put a sheet tray over that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was always somebody who didn't know, though, and you like heard it. And you're just like, and you just hear somebody yell, sheet tray, sheet tray.
One of the worst burns I ever got, and I still have a scar. It's on the back. You can maybe see it. So I was in the kitchen one day. I was walking down the line. I was checking. We had two kitchens going. This was at Red Rooster. We had the upstairs kitchen and we had the Ginny's downstairs kitchen open. And downstairs, they were getting crushed. So I left Expo, went down to check on the sous chef down there. And they had an order on the fly. I was like, chef, you stay on the pass. You know, guys, stay here. Stay on your stations. I'll take care of this on the fly order. And I had this cook give me a rondo to get started on whatever this person needed. It was something super random. And to try to expedite the process of the heat underneath, I asked the woman next to me to give me some oil from the fryer. Like give me a ladle full of hot oil to, you know, just kind of make the oil speed up the heating process. I've pulled that trick. So she's walking behind me with a, like, I don't know, probably an 8-ounce ladle. So a pretty sizable bowl on the ladle. I thought she put all the oil in the pot. She did not. She still had some oil in this hot ladle and the fryers were at like 375. She's walking behind me and I'm checking for a couple ingredients on the line to use for this special order. Grab them. She doesn't say behind you. She doesn't say hot. She doesn't say anything. Oof. So I reach to grab this thing I need. I pull my arm back and she's holding this ladle out in front of her like this.
Nah.
It hits me in the back of the arm and that fryer oil melted my shirt to the back of my arm.
Oh.
I was dating Steven at the time. Of course, like, yeah, I finished service though. Like, put a
fresh coat on.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, just roll that sleeve up or actually give me your paring knife and just cut that sleeve off for me.
Yeah.
And then I finished service. You know, like I had one of the waiters bring me some burn gel and then saran wrap my arm. Not a big deal. And then after service, we closed out. I was going to meet Steven and I were dating at the time. I'm going to go meet him for a drink at the bar. So I meet him at the bar and he gave me a hug and he's like, what's that rustling sound? I'm like, oh, it's just plastic wrap on my arm. He's like, oh, okay. He was just like, y'all do weird shit. I'm going to stay out of this. Somebody else, we're talking, having drinks. Somebody else like patted me on the arm later in the evening. And I was like, ooh. He was like, what? Wait, what is up with your arm? And I was like, oh, somebody hit me in the back of the arm with fryer oil tonight. He was like, what? What did you do? Same thing.
Mhm.
I was like, I said, oh. And then I said, get out of my way.
Right. You're like, I reminded myself that I could not, commit violence on this person at work.
Exactly.
The first station I worked was like a gas wood-fired oven. And so the floor's hot. Everything's hot, right? But it had this metal trim around it. And it was like real thin. And it was just ripping hot. And the oven was just a little bit low. So if you're like my height, and my buddy Joe used to work the oven with me, like, so we're the same height, you couldn't see in the oven standing up. So you'd have to you could see the oven standing up, but like I couldn't. So like to get in there, I would have to crouch down.
You and your short jokes.
It's just real. So you'd have to look at what you wanted to get in the oven. You'd be like, all right, that pan, it's right there. And you'd be like, all right, go. You put your hand in real quick and you try to grab it and pull it out. Sometimes when you're pulling it out, you'd hit the bottom of the oven.
Right. The bottom of the oven. We call that tag.
Yeah.
We used to call that tag.
Yeah. So like the bottom of the oven hurts, but it's not too bad. But the problem is you hit the bottom of the oven and your instant reaction is your arm goes up. And so when your arm went up, you'd hit that metal thing. And that metal thing would like burn you, cut you, and cauterize you like all in one swoop. It'd just be like, and you're just like,
I know that sound. Oh my God.
Like all of our wrists, all of our forearms from there were just just so marked up. And I'll tell you how stupid we are. So that was at Table 52. That restaurant was open for, I think, like 10 or 15 years, maybe. So when it was closing, me, Joe, my other buddy, John, who's they're chefs in Detroit together, and our old chef de cuisine went back with like some of our friends, and we ate there one last night right before it closed. We all ate there together. And then at the end of the night, some drinks may have been had. We were like, we got to get one more for the road. And we all went up.
Oh, no. What is wrong with you?
And we all went up and burnt ourselves on the oven one last time.
Oh, God. What is wrong? Did you go straight for the top or did you do the bottom top?
No, we went straight for the top.
Oh, God, Joseph. Oh, man. I mean, those ovens are crazy, though. Working saute stations, I guess that's actually being shorter was an advantage, because if I'm doing my crouching tiger, hidden dragon to get into the ovens, like working saute, we had 2 side-by-side ovens, and we had those big French fish pans, those heavy iron pans.
Yeah, the pans that are only used at 𝗪𝗏𝗏.
Right. Yeah.
No one else.
Or in France.
No one else knows what that pan is because people have only seen those. No one. I took over a restaurant and they had those, and I remember the owners asked me like, "What are these for?" I was like, "These are for cooking fish at a 3 Michelin star restaurant. Like, you're running a steakhouse." Joe.
They're huge. They are massive. It's a big oval with a 14-inch handle.
Yes.
And the oval itself is probably about 16, 18 inches long.
Yeah, it's like a snowshoe.
And at its widest point, maybe 8 inches. Yeah. It's huge.
Yes.
These things are so heavy. And so going in and out of the ovens, like I was ripped. You go in and out of the oven so much, you're like scarred up. And I hated like going back around my family around the holiday season, because my arms would look so messed up. So I'd pull all my sweater sleeves down. Like I wouldn't roll my sleeves up for anything, because my mom would be like, dear, like what? This is what I told you. This is why I told you not to go to kitchens. But then she would also be like, yeah, you're okay. Walk it off. I got a scar recently here. I don't know if you can see it. It looked like I was crying hot oil.
Yeah.
I was frying anchovies last week or a couple weeks ago, and one of them exploded.
Oof.
Like right as I'm going into the pan with the little fish spatula to lift them out. I lifted it out of the oil, and that's when it decided to explode, and it like splattered.
Like you could see that oil coming at your face, and you're like,
right.
This is gonna suck.
It hit me in the right eye. I have a little mark here under my eye. And I just immediately I had some vodka bottles in the freezer at work. So I just grabbed a vodka bottle and like held it to my face and then finished taking the anchovies out. But I was like, I made it through almost 20 years in kitchens without leaving a scar on my face. And now I'm doing private work. And now I choose to get a scar on my face. Like, come on.
I never had that because it's like, I'm not making fun of you for being short, but being taller than you, you're further away from the pan. So it's like all that's just hit me in like the chest. But the one thing I remember doing this multiple times when I worked at Girl and the Goat is when you worked saute, you had scallops and you had to baste the scallops. And doing the move of I'd be like basting a bunch of scallops. So that spoon is just magma hot,
ripping
right?
Hot. Yeah.
Throw it in the bane for a second, forget which spoon it was, go to taste something else, and like burn yourself on your lips, like at 2 parts from the spoon. And it's like one of those where it's like you'd feel it and you'd be like, I'm the stupidest person on earth.
Oh man.
And then it's like it looked like you had like double cold sores because you burnt. And it's like, no, don't worry, I just burnt myself with a spoon because I'm stupid.
I feel like you've told us a lot about your scars, but that doesn't get you off the hook for walk-in confessions. You are up this week, my friend.
I'm going to literally take you to the walk-in for this one.
I gotta hear this.
Back when I was a line cook at Table 52, at one point they moved, I don't know if you ever worked at a place like this, but they moved the walk-in outside.
No, I never did.
So the back kitchen was so small, they took the walk-in and they moved it outside, like in the parking lot. So it was like a freestanding shed, but it was a walk-in, right?
Wow.
So when you went out, and like the back doors of restaurants are like those big, heavy fire doors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go out the back door opened right to the walk-in. So the walk-in door and the back door of the restaurant kind of met almost, like they were so close, which was good. If it was like snowing, you could, kind of, get out there real quick and, get through and not get snowed on too much or raining or whatever. It's like 4:00 one day. We open at 4:30. I'm getting ready for service. I'm running it out. I'm running to the walk-in. My buddy's running into the back door. I have my hand opening the door. He swings the walk-in door open. And my right hand and my thumb is in between the fire door and the walk-in door. Smashes my thumb. It's one of those instant ones where you're like, oh, like you feel it in your stomach. You're just like, like. So I'm also at this point, like 6 months of a cook. So like, I can't even really like say anything because it's like kind of my fault. My thumb was in the way. My buddy's like, oh, dude, that sucks. It's like a Saturday night. So working service, we're getting killed. I'm working the oven. My thumb is so swollen by 5:00 that I can't season with my right hand. Like to pick up salt and it hurts.
Right.
Like it is hurting my thumb just to pick up salt. It's in so much pain. And it is like 4 times the size. You know what I mean? It's black and blue already. The thing is huge. So then the whole night I'm like trying to season with my left hand. And again, I'm 6 months a cook. I can barely season with my right hand. So now I'm trying to do it with my left hand. I'm doing a shitty job. I'm getting yelled at all night because I'm cooking really slow because my thumb feels like it's going to fall off. It's late. I think I get out of there at like 1 a.m. At the time, my mom worked midnight. So sometimes she would pick me up and give me a ride home. So she's like, all right. She's like, I'm not too busy. Maybe I'll meet you at 63rd Street. I was like, okay. I go, all right. Yeah, that's good. Like, are you pretty not busy? She's like, yeah, why? I go, do you think you'd maybe I think I might maybe go to the hospital, like after you pick me up.
Right. Like instead of going home, can you take me to a hospital by any chance?
And, you have to understand my mother too. This is a woman who was, a Chicago police lieutenant for 30 years on midnights. She is unflappable. So her response was, oh, yeah, for sure. I know the best one to go to this time of night because they don't do gunshots, so we'll be able to walk right in.
Oh, nice. That's good intel.
Very good intel.
Solid intel.
Picks me up. We cruise down to the hospital. Nurse comes back. She's like, yeah, we need to drill a hole in your thumb now.
What?
To relieve,
oh my God, to release the pressure?
The pressure, because otherwise your skin's going to rip. I was like, yeah, do whatever. So they heat this thing up. It looks like a mini soldering iron.
Oh, geez.
Put my thumb down on the table and, she grabs my wrist and just takes the thing and just goes, and it goes through it like hot butter. And it was insanely painful, but I am not kidding. My thumb was so pressurized, blood shot out 2 feet in the air and in a solid stream.
Oh my God.
It was just And that was
like Buckingham Fountain.
crazy. But like that felt so good because the pressure was so intense. And she's just like looking at me like almost disgusted. Like, why are you okay
Relieved.
right now? Like, and it was one of the wildest ones though. But it was just like, oh man, that was a brutal one. That was like one of those ones that it was like, welcome to the kitchen.
Everybody watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe so you can get the full-length video of every episode of the podcast every week. Joe, what the hell do you have?
So, are you familiar with on social media where they do these things where you just rate them 1 to 10? I just give you things and you rate them 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the least.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do Holiday Meats edition.
Oh,
maybe some
I
fish.
like this.
Maybe
Okay.
some fish too.
Okay.
And you're just going to give me 1 to 10. You can give me a quick note about why it ranks there for you. All right, number 1, starting off, I think, holiday ham.
Ooh, holiday ham. I give it an 8, maybe a 9.
A 9. I think a 9's too high. 8 I can get on board with. 8, it's a workhorse. It's solid. It's the leftover. It might be the leftover king.
It is, and nothing says holiday like ham. I'm sorry. I love a holiday ham. I'm here for it.
All right. So everybody does turkey for Thanksgiving. What about the Christmas turkey? Where's that one hitting for you?
Let it go. Some families do a dry run for Christmas with Thanksgiving, but I do like to not revisit the turkey. I'm going to go with ranking that a 2. A 2.
That's a basement.
I don't want turkey on Christmas. It can be there. But like, don't expect me to eat it.
Yeah,
on Christmas.
no,
I want ham.
I'm with you. I think it's a little higher than a 2. I think a 2 is harsh. I think you got 2 into the Japanese review system, and but
I'm totally in. I'm in it now.
Yeah,
I'm in that system now.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's leave that in Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
thought 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏 I'm a tough reviewer.
Well, yeah, apparently. All right. What about you're a fancy New Yorker now. What about a prime rib?
Oh, for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I'd say that's getting top billing. That's going to be a 10.
Oh.
A prime rib roast on the bone.
On the bone. On the bone.
That's my number 1. Like, nothing says the holidays.
All right, so
like
combo with this
roast
then
rib.
though. So if that's a 10, what's a beef tenderloin? Whole roast beef tenderloin for Christmas.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay. 9, 10 in
Yep.
that order.
Okay, so now I have prime rib as 1, beef tenderloin. Ooh, especially if it's a Wellington. Ooh.
A little welly.
And then ham after that. Yep.
Okay. How do you all right. Last one. This is one served at my family's Christmas every year. The bacalhau. Are you familiar with the salt cod?
Are we doing it Brandad style?
We are not.
I am familiar with the salt cod.
Absolutely not. What we are doing is we are rehydrating.
How does your family do it?
We are rehydrating that shit. And then you are dredging it and frying it.
No, I thought you guys like cook it into scrambled eggs.
No,
or...
hell no. Hell no. No, it makes no sense.
What? I've never heard of anybody frying bacalhau.
It's big in Italy. They fry it. They have places in Rome that only fry bacalhau. They're bacalhau fritis.
And it's not like a mix of something else where you make like a ball and fry it, like mixed with potato or something?
Nope. How they used to do it, I'm gonna give you this even before you rank it. This is, you want to hear some like real old school Italian stuff, is what they say. Like, so you gotta, when you do salt cod, like, right, you rinse it and then you change the water every day.
Yeah, you gotta soak it to get all that salt out.
So what my grandma told me is what they used to do back in the day is when they used to have the toilets where the top of the toilet, like the back part with the fresh water, was up high.
With that, okay.
They would just put the bacalhau in there.
Oh my God.
So that because then the fresh water was just going through it. You know what I mean? You're not wasting water. You're not wasting anything.
That is it's the most oddly genius kind of thing that I have ever heard of. And then you're going to be changing the water anytime someone flushes. It's separate. It's not in the line of fire from anything. Oh my God. Right.
It's brilliant, but some brilliance is not meant to be shared.
I don't know, but like I can't say I've ever just had straight up bacalhau breaded and fried though. I mean, kudos to Grandma Mary for that genius rinsing kind of strategy.
That wasn't her invention. That wasn't her invention. That's a well-known thing. If you talk to it is.
It was a real
because I've
thing.
talked to Tony Mantovano about it too. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, they used to do that.
Whoa. Okay, I am today years old. I love learning new things like this. That's incredible.
Yeah. So you meet any old Italians before Christmas, ask them about it. Be like, hey, let me ask you about putting dried fish in your toilet.
They'll be like, who told you about that?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, fried bacalhau. I don't know.
All right, we'll give you an undecided on it.
I've never tried it.
I'll tell you, as somebody who's eaten it every year their whole life, it's like a 5. It's right middle of the road. I feel like I have to have it because it's tradition, but it's more tradition than like, it's not like a delicious thing that I'm like, oh yeah, can't wait to sink my teeth into some bacalhau.
Right. Well, really quickly then, I want you to score Feast of the Seven Fishes. There's 7 dishes that you and your family do every year around Christmas. And that's not something I ever grew up with, that tradition. I didn't even hear about Feast of the Seven Fishes until I got older and was a line cook. But what score the 7 dishes that you and your family do?
So I would say we'll start from 7. Bacalhau is probably the lowest level. And they switch from every family, but this is just what we do. So I would say bacalhau is 7 for me.
Okay.
I'd say after that, the fried perch is probably 6. Then in recent years, this one's really good, but it's not like very exciting to me. It's not like I like super look forward to it, but it's delicious. Is we've moved into a shrimp cocktail, but that's probably 5. 4, I would probably say I do now. One of the new additions as well is a whole grilled salmon, which is really good, very popular. But it's not, super exciting to me, just because it's salmon, but everybody loves it. And it is delicious. 3, I'd go with the scallops, seared scallops with like butter and breadcrumbs and garlic, and delicious. And then number 2 would be the clam sauce spaghetti, but it's a red sauce.
Oh.
So it's like clams, onions, olive oil, tons of black pepper, oregano, cans of tomato. You cook that down, serve it with linguine.
Nice.
Then number 1, the real star of the show for me on Feast of the Seven Fishes is the calamari. And you're getting calamari a couple ways. So one, you have like, you make the clam red sauce and then you make a calamari red sauce. And then you put the calamari red sauce in conjunction on top of the clam red sauce as like extra meat. You know what I mean? So you get a mixture of like tomato braised squid and clams. Delicious. And then we also, I make like as an appetizer, I make a bunch of fried calamari. And just like fried calamari, it just hits. If I think of my grandma's house on Christmas Eve, I'm standing in that kitchen. The window's cracked open a little bit because it's 147 degrees in her kitchen every day of the year. And like I could smell the calamari frying and like taste that first squeeze of lemon on that crispy piece of calamari. That to me is the one where it's like, can't wait to have that first bite of calamari. I'm like, yeah, it's Christmas Eve now.
Hell yeah. What do you dredge your calamari in? And is it the same that you do the bacalhau and the perch with?
No. So the calamari I dredge in like a 50-50 AP cornstarch mix.
Okay, so you do all-purpose flour, cornstarch. That makes a nice crispy crust.
Yeah,
and you just toss them in there.
Yeah, the calamari is wet
then...
enough. You know what I mean? A little salt and pepper, and then for the perch and the bacalhau, it's like the traditional one my grandma used to do with her mom, and it's flour, salt and pepper, egg wash, flour.
Okay. No breadcrumbs.
Nope. Nothing.
No cornmeal.
Nope. The only one we used to do in cornmeal, and sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't, is we get like smelt.
Oh, I love smelt.
And I'll soak them in buttermilk, and then I'll shake them in cornmeal, and then fry them.
Yep.
Oh, I love them. Not everybody likes them, you know what I mean? So my grandma's like, nobody likes the smelt that much anymore. You know, you don't have to do it. If I can get the smelt that are like, the Lake Erie ones or somewhere, then I like to do it because I think they're so good.
It's worth the burn on the face to get fried smelt, fried anchovies, the little tiny, like small sardines fried whole. Oh, I love them so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Or you're just tolerant. Or
They
you're
are
just
totally
tolerant. It's not an issue.
Oh yeah, you know, I'll just
because you drank enough eggnog as a kid.
I would have been 6 inches taller. I'd been out of the line of fire from the hot oil.
That's it. You'd be 5'9" right now.
Yeah, that would, if only I could have done that. Joe, thank you so much for kicking it with me pre-Christmas. It is always a joy to hang out.
What a fun one, and I hope you have a great holiday.
Happy holidays, Chef's Cut Nation. For the next 2 weeks, Joe and I are going to be taking a little holiday break to spend some time with family and friends. But don't worry, we have some very special episodes coming up over the holidays. We're going to throw it all the way back to our very first episodes. So if you don't remember how Joe and I became friends and how this all got started, listen up. I think you will love it. And then we're going to throw it back to our very first guest episode where we had the one and only Kristen Kish, host of Bravo's Top Chef, joining us as our very first guest on the pod. We'll be back January 13th with all new episodes and all new guests. But in the next 2 weeks, enjoy the encore. Happy holidays from the Chef's Cut.